So when we decided that this week was about obsessions, I tried to think about what my first real obsession would have been and see if I could figure out a kind of timeline from then until now in terms of obsessions, because I've always had something to obsess about, and I can pretty much break down my life into one obsession following another. And the first one that I really came up with was Michael Morpurgo, the author of Warhorse, Why the Whales Came, Kanzuki's Kingdom, a lot of books that possibly you'd heard of. Really great children's author who I was obsessed with as a kid. And it's actually lucky that I'm at home still filming this video, because it means that I have a lot of props, like this massive pile of Michael Morpurgo books, and a lot of them are signed. It's my Kanzuki's Kingdom, specifically Abigail. Lovely little message. I'm pretty sure this will be backwards because my videos were flipped last time. But so this one, Kanzuki's Kingdom, if you know the story, it's about a boy who sails with his mother and father around the world, and then gets deserted on island. So it says to take you off around the world whenever you want to go. Love, Michael Morpurgo. And he signed a load of different books of mine with different messages. For example, his book The Butterfly Line is with huge roaring roars from Michael Morpurgo. And The Wreck of the Zanzibar with love from the old wreck who wrote it. So that was really lovely, and the way I got them signed, actually, potentially a little bit creepy, started me to go on, was I wrote him a letter, and it was in the very early stages of the internet, when you could pretty much still find anything. I was in year 5, so I guess about 9 years old, and I wrote it to his home address because I knew he worked at a charity because I'd read a biography of his. I knew him and his wife actually ran a charity called Farm City Children, which they still run, and I found his home address on there. So instead of sending this letter to his publicist, I sent it to him, and I enclosed like little things that I had written, poems and stories, one of which I remember. I don't really remember what I said in the letter at all, although I think my mum does, but I know that one of the things I sent him was we'd been doing Kanzuki's Kingdom at school, and one of kind of our homework assignments was to write an alternative ending, or kind of what we think the ending should have been, or just, not maybe what we think it should have been, because obviously it was pretty perfect, but just how it could have gone. And so I look back on it now, and part of me is like, that's a bit like sending someone fan fiction, which would be a bit weird. But I was 9, so I got away with it, and he sent me back this postcard. There, sent to me, cover up my old address, not that it matters because I don't live there anymore. And I haven't read this for absolutely ages. So it's addressed 1st of July 2001, so yeah, I was 9, just about to turn 10. So it says, Dear Abigail, thanks hugely for your decorated letter. Don't remember decorating it. There you are, I really haven't read this for years. And more importantly, your terrific writing. I loved your polar bear poem, great atmosphere, wonderful detail. Thanks, Michael. And the Kanzuki chapter was terrific too. There we are. I'm coming to Cambridge on the 16th, or the 16th, 15th of July. I'm staying at the Garden House Hotel. If you and your mum want to come along to have a book or two signed, by all means do. Leave a message for me at the hotel. I should be there by 6ish, maybe it says. All the best, Michael Morpurgo. P.S. New book, Out of the Ashes, out on July 19th. I wonder if I got this one signed. Apparently I didn't. Maybe I just haven't bought it yet. So we went along and met Michael Morpurgo, and I wonder if I could find a photo to put it here now. I was so nervous. I didn't say a word the whole time. I remember my mum talking a lot about him and about him to him, about Hebrew and Ted Hughes, who was friends with Michael Morpurgo. All of this I knew because I had read this autobiography. I knew he was friends with Ted Hughes. I knew so much of the stuff he was talking about, but I was just way too nervous. I think pretty much all I remember of that, apart from sitting there scared shitless, was getting him loads of books to sign and telling him how jealous all my friends were of me, and saying that they wanted book signs too, but I only had one. I had 2 books from one of my friends, and he made some joke about clearly not all my books wanted all my friends wanted books signed, but I was just so nervous that I was like, So I wonder if I'd cope better if I met him again today. I kind of would like to, just to see if he has any memory of it, but he probably doesn't, because let's face it, he probably met hundreds of kids. But it was quite an awesome memory for me. We ended up going to the same uni, which I didn't know until I got there, and his picture was up kind of on the front of the building as one of the notable alumni, and I was like, clearly meant to be. So after Michael Morpurgo, in my timeline of obsessions, pretty classy one. I think you'll agree. I think Sarah probably knows what's coming. Just about one of the greatest bands of all time, S Club 7. Every single CD they released, except one of their singles, I have on cassette, classic, rather than CD. But I bought all their albums, from the first one right through to their greatest hits. And then I bought their singles, even though their songs, all the singles were on the albums. I bought the greatest hits, even though I had them all on single and album form. I have an unofficial book. I have an official book. I was absolutely obsessed with Hannah Spirit. I have pictures of her in my room. I don't know. If they ever reunite, and I mean properly, not S Club 3 bullshit, I will be there front and centre, even though I know they're not a great band, but they're just my childhood for me. I watched all their TV shows. I remember being so upset when Mum recorded over my cassette tape that I'd recorded off TV of Boyfriends and Birthdays, that's what it was called, which was one of their kind of feature-length ones where Rachel dumped someone. I think it was the first time I remember hearing the saying, "There's plenty more fish in the sea." I remember thinking that was kind of something I'd come up with, especially. I was so upset. She recorded over it with a documentary on Freddie Mercury, and I think at the time I didn't really know who Freddie Mercury was, and I was just so upset with her, and now I get it. So that was kind of my childhood. I guess TV obsessions started with one show, Buffy. Now I have loads of kind of magazines and stuff. We bought the Buffy magazine every single week. And I have loads of magazines still on my shelf. SFX magazine, I had no interest in anything else in SFX magazine, but if there was an interview with one of the Buffy actors, I bought it without question. But I thought the thing that illustrated my obsession most was this poster that, for a long time, lived above my bed. From about the ages, Sarah and I shared a room until we were about 12, 10, somewhere between 10 and 12, I can't remember. So from then until we moved to this house when I was 15, this poster went by my bed. It's really massive. You can kind of see, and it is Spike in all his glory. It says at the bottom, "I'm a bad, rude man." It's even got Vampire Spike in the corner. Oh, you really can't see that, can you? No, I'm rubbish at angling things. There he is. I was obsessed. Still am obsessed. Just finished a series rewatch. Still one of the best shows ever made. Me and my friends watch the musical episode so many times. I can recite word for word that episode. Absolutely amazing. And then when that finished, in the same year the OC started, and I was pretty obsessed with that. But my real love for kind of teen shitty TV shows was anyone who knew me from the ages of 12 to 18 would know it was One Tree Hill. This is a signed picture. What if you can see? Oh, the glare is awful, but you can see vaguely that it's signed. Oh, this way. By everyone, that's Sophia Bush and my teenage love, James Lafferty. This one of my friends got me when we left school when we were 15, 16ish. I was 15, one of the babies of the year, because I'd got her into One Tree Hill when we were like a few years before that, and we were all obsessed. And I have the soundtracks, I have the DVDs. I kept watching religiously until the end, even though, to be honest, some of the later seasons were pretty crap, but just the first 4 seasons, I would recommend to anyone to watch the first 4 seasons. Seriously, just lovely TV. That's like a really lame way of saying it, but I really, really love that show. This video is getting super long, but You probably know my more recent obsessions, and some of them are maybe more embarrassing, like Glee. And what else? There's just so much. I'm really bad at just liking things and not caring about them. Even books, if I like a book, one book that an author's written, I will read all the books that they write. Um, and even kind of how I watch YouTube is, obsessive. I've been watching. I realised the other day I was introducing my friend to Tyler Oakley videos. She's become obsessed. My best friend Poppy. Um, and I realised I've been watching Tyler Oakley for 5 years now, and that's just crazy because 5 years ago I was in sixth form. Now I actually have a full time proper job, um, and yet I'm still as dedicated as I ever was. Um, oh, what other shows? I mean, just so much. Like, um, there's just so much that I'm obsessed with. It's pathetic. I'm not one of those people who can not think about something. Even if I don't have all the paraphernalia, like what I've shown you here are things I have props for, more or less. And that's just four things, and they're just really big landmark obsessions. It went Michael Morpurgo, S Club 7, Buffy, One Tree Hill, and then I guess there's a little gap where maybe I could pretend I had a bit of a life, but not really because Glee started straight away after that. Kind of Broadway, which is something I don't understand how that happened because none of my family liked Broadway in the slightest. And then even then, I fixate on certain people. So like Sarah and Rachel definitely know my love for Matt Doyle, and I watch all of his performances. I have kind of a special playlist on YouTube for him. I obviously donated to his Kickstarter because I'm obsessed. Um, it takes over. Things just take over my life. Even if I'm watching a new show, I will just watch it so quickly and get so into it and Google the actors, find out about the actors, learn the actors' names. I can't even help it. Every time I watch a film, I look up the IMDb page after I've done it to see if there are any fun facts, which people are never as impressed with as I think they should be when I tell them to them. Like they don't care. Like they're not crazy obsessive people. But I think all you guys are. So hopefully you'll be able to understand that. And Rachel and Sophie, I'll see what you guys come up with in the next couple of days. Bye!